In this video, we're going to talk about all the appliances. We're going to talk about the TV, stereo, fridge, stove, microwave, oven, and outdoor kitchen. Let's start with the TV. The TV runs on electrical only. You have to be plugged in order to use the TV, the microwave, and one other thing. What else? The TV, the microwave, and the air conditioner. Those three things you have to be plugged in to use. If you're just running off the trailer's batteries, those three things will not work. So if you're plugged in, here's how you use the TV. This unit has a really cool function where you can actually spin the TV around so you have access to it in the master bedroom or out here. There's a little switch right here. Once you got it in place, you just drop it down into the hole and it'll keep it locked in. So with the TV, this band here is just to prevent the TV from wobbling a lot when you're traveling. Once it's out, you can actually pull the TV out and angle it. So you can be sitting here and have a nice clean angle on the TV. But the downside to that is it'll wobble a little bit and travel, and that's why I created this little rig. So make sure that before you travel, the TV is locked back up, and that's over the buckle so it doesn't scratch the face of the TV. The TV is connected to this DVD player, and this also plays CDs, and this also runs the surround sound system. There are speakers in the master, there are speakers in this main living area, and once the awning is repaired, we're in that process, there are speakers in the awning outside, and you can control that through, this is speaker inside, this is speaker outside. And for all information about how to connect your phone or Bluetooth device, this is Bluetooth compatible, to the stereo, you just use the instruction manual that's included right here. You can play DVDs and everything else on this. So that's the TV. Now let's talk about the fridge. The fridge can run on either liquid propane or electricity. So obviously if you're plugged in, you want to save your propane, so you put it on, come over here, you put it on auto. What auto is going to do is going to tell the fridge, hey, you can run on either electrical or propane, run on electrical when you can. So as long as you're plugged in, it's going to be using electrical. If you're off grid and you're not plugged in, you can set it on gas, and then it will automatically run on liquid propane. If the light starts blinking, then it's saying that your propane is out. So confirm that by turning on the stove, seeing if you can get a burner to turn on. If not, then your propane tank is out. And I showed in another video how to go up to the propane tanks and switch it to the tank that's full and get propane running again. This is a pretty large fridge. It works quite well. If it's really in a hot month, you want to turn the fridge on an hour or two before you're going to go, so it'll be nice, and the fridge and freezer will both be really chilled. You can kind of get a sense for how big your fridge is here. You can fit quite a bit in this fridge. It's really a pretty economically, it uses space economically. The freezer does actually keep things frozen and works quite well. You can control the gauge here. We find that 3 is about right. The stove and oven. The stove is pretty simple. Our propane's not turned on right now, but if it was, all you do is you find the burner that you want to use, turn it to light. Oh, actually it did. And you turn that to spark, and then it'll turn the burner on. It's pretty simple. The oven is a little trickier, and honestly, these ovens are not designed to be used very much. It's kind of like if you have to use it, you can. What you do to use it is you, first of all, come to this gauge right here, and you put it on pilot. You can see up there it says pilot, and you push to hold, and while you're pushing that and holding it in like that, it pops in, you light a match down here and you hold it in the center, and the pilot light will catch. You'll hear it catch on fire. Once the pilot light catches, you let go of this and it pops out, and then you turn it to whatever temperature you want. Its accuracy is give or take 25 degrees one way or the other. It's not extremely accurate. So you'll have to kind of keep an eye on whatever it is you're using the oven, cooking in the oven. The microwave is self-explanatory. You've got a light here, fan here. The fan I find in this little space is quite nice if you're cooking something. It's really nice to have that fan on almost all the time. The last thing we're going to talk about is the outdoor kitchen. Let's go have a look. Here's the outdoor kitchen. This little drinks refrigerator only works on electricity. It won't run on liquid propane, so this only works when you're plugged in at a campsite. What you do is you pull this out all the way. Okay. Then you pop up the stove. You take this propane line and you hook it down here from this valve up to this valve. And once that line is hooked up, you turn this lever here like that so the propane will flow. We don't use this very often because the indoor is so much more convenient. If you want to, that's how you do it. And that's really it on appliances.